Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Kryptocraft with your host, Nighthawk. I'm over here in the B Labs. I figured we'd take a look at some of the stuff we've been doing over here lately. First off, I've got all of the genetic machines for the beekeeping installed now. So starting from the left here, we have our isolator, which is used to make these serum vials. And basically it will collect random attribute from the bee and put it into these empty serum vials. And it has a chance of destroying the bees, so the idea is to only use the drones in here so that you don't destroy your princesses, which are rather valuable. Now, I've already collected a good number of different vials of various things that are useful to me, including a couple of different species and all sorts of different attributes here. And one of the attributes that I've got here is maximum fertility. Now, once you get your serum vial, you take that vial and you stick it into the synthesizer, and it adds charges to it. So they'll start as these empty vials that just have a attribute attached to them. And when you put it into the synthesizer, it will fill it up with additional charges. Then, in order to make sure that you don't make your bees into, basically ruin the bees by introducing bad side effects or anything else, you need to use this purifier to improve the quality of these serums. As the synthesizer adds charges, it also degrades the quality of the serum, and the worse quality the serum is, the more likely you are to end up with problems with your bees. Now, right now, this is one that I just started a little bit ago. You can see that I don't seem to have a whole lot of power going in here. These machines are super power hungry, and that's one of the biggest problems I'm still working on fixing right now, is getting the power situation under better control. So it's going to take quite a while for this Diligent Species serum to get upgraded to the same excellent quality that I have here. Now, next to here is the splicer. This is to take templates from the sequencer to apply them to other bees. These are the Tier 2 machines, and I'm still not clear exactly how they work. I know you can put certain bees into the sequencer and it will create a template for them, and I think that's one way of copying species of bees, but it doesn't seem like it's the most effective way. Now, over here, the synthesizer and the purifier both take liquid DNA. This liquid DNA here, which you get from crushing your bees that you don't need in the gene pool. And as a bit of a note here, if you put bees in that are scanned, that you've done the analyzed, then you get more liquid DNA out of them than if you just stuck them in the gene pool without analyzing them. So definitely want to do that. There's also this replicator that lets you copy these serum vials, which I probably won't get a whole lot of use out of it myself, but if, say, FWIP or somebody else that's working on the bees wanted to get any particular attribute, then we could just stick in the attribute that I've collected into a vial and use the replicator to make a copy of it. So, since I've got all the stuff here, I probably won't need that too much. And then the last machine involved here is this inoculator. Now, what this does is it takes the serum vials and applies them to the various bees. So let's start by taking a look at this Ancient Princess, which is the one that we're going to work on right now. What I'm needing here is to get to some bees that will produce output that we can use to create power. In this particular case, I'm eyeing the oily line to create bees that will output, and that's going to go right into this bag, where I have to find it. There it is. I'm looking to get into bees that lock that for the moment, that produce oil so that we can use machines like the steam boilers and the combustion engines and different things like that. There's also a bee that's just beyond the regular oil bees that produces biofuel pretty much directly. So I'll probably get some of those working out there as well. Now, if we look at this bee right now, you can see on the fertility line that it produces 2 offspring, and specifically it's 2 drone offspring that it produces. They'll always produce 1 princess and however many drones that are listed here. In order to make the process of breeding them to a specific version, or to a specific breed, easier, I'm going to take this maximum fertility serum and apply it to the bees. And this takes quite a while to apply, so we'll go and take a look at some other things here in a minute. But basically it's going to use up a bunch of power and inject this bee with this fertility serum, and it may take a couple of passes, a couple of injections of that fertility serum before he gets that attribute applied both to the inactive and active. Now I've done some other changes around here, and that's pretty much all the various machines that we have here. But I have done some other changes. I moved the acclimatizer over here because I've got water underneath. I've added a liquid transposer that we can use to fill these water cells so that we can get the humidity tolerance set properly for our bees. I also added a second carpenter to make impregnated sticks with seed oil, so I don't have to change the recipes here. And also added the chest for all of the various bee things that we are getting. Just from a little bit of a design stuff, it's still a work in progress, but I think will be pretty cool. I've got this little office area up here. The hole is just because of some other power stuff I was doing. Has a little balcony or a little ledge that you can look over the main factory workshop floor. I'm going to put a table here and a couple of chairs so you can sit down and relax and watch the bee activity happening down below. And then over here, I still need to clear out the rest of this room, of course, but over here we will have a little balcony that you can look out over the lake back here and see what's happening with the bees. Now right now, sun is just rising. Let's go over here real quick and check on our Imperials. Now the Imperials are really important for the way that I'm doing the bee breeding right now, because they produce the royal jelly that we need to make these empty serum vials. You'll also notice that I have a bunch of project tables over here. So we have this recipe set up like so that creates these empty serum vials. I've got all the royal jelly that we've collected so far in here. Just in case I need more vials, it's really easy to grab them and go. Now, I also changed the access to the working area below. So now, in order to get down, you don't have to jump over the conduits and everything else. There's a nice little pathway back here. Gets down behind all of this stuff. I've got some bluetricity machines down here. Just some, got some batteries and a couple of blue electric machines, or blue electric engines, that are trying to keep this redstone energy cell charged. I've also got an energy tesseract that is hooked up to the factory that's trying to keep this whole thing powered, but basically these machines draw so much power that it can't keep it charged, and the battery that's supposed to keep this thing charged is on the other end is actually draining as well. So and the wow, I can't talk all of a sudden. The bluetricity is really not producing as much power as I'd hoped it would. I've got a currently just have a windmill that's way up there, as you can kind of see. We'll fly up there real quick, because I've done pretty much all of the stuff that we're doing with the bees right now. But you can see that we've got that windmill. I actually moved that from the factory because we weren't using it there anyway. And yeah, that's kind of a catch-up on what I've been doing with the bees. I may need to also add some solar panels for the Bluetricity, see if we can amp up the energy production a little bit more. But, so, we're making progress here, though. Probably am still a ways away from having the bees to produce energy, but let's take a look at this ancient diligent worker now. And now you can see the fertility went from 2 drone offspring to 4. And what this does for us is when we breed this bee, then we'll get more drones, which give us more chances to get various attributes that we want. And if we get the right drones, then we can either try breeding them in the apiaries, or we can also try using the isolator to get the attributes that we're looking for as well. Now, in order to make sure that we actually get the 4 drone fertility, we need to inoculate both the princess and the drone that we're using. So we're going to be using this noble drone, so we want to get his fertility up as well. Throw him on the floor, just because that's how we do things here. So let's get him going. Now it took 2 charges of serum to get the princess. Sometimes the inoculation will not have any effect, so it will take more charges. So keep that in mind if you're going to try using any kind of a similar method to breed your bees. Now, my long-term plan here, once we have a bit more power, because right now we just don't have the power to do this well, but the plan here is basically to get a bee of the, breed them to get the bees of the right species, and then use the isolator to isolate the particular species that we're looking for, and then we can inoculate a princess and a drone from one of the commons that one of the common bees that we don't need a lot of, that we can just go around and collect hives for, and turn them into the different species. We can also do that if we set up production for, like, let's say we get bees that make iron dust or something like that, and we end up with more than enough iron. We make like 6 or 7 iron bees or something like that to make iron combs. Then we're done. We don't need as many iron bees, so we can change those bees over to something else whenever we're done with them. So the serums and the inoculator are definitely a great way to manage which bees that you're using. But they do require just ridiculous amounts of Buildcraft energy to operate. Also see that the liquid DNA, it is going down, but that lasts a reasonably good time. Now our diligent species are up to good quality from the poor quality that they started. Well, actually they started at awful quality when I put it in there, but so those are improving, and this bee is just about done with his first injection. And what it does is when you put the bees in, they'll just continue, it'll keep injecting them until they get this attribute all the way through both their inactive and their active traits. And the reason we want both of them to have that is it gives a better chance that the queen will actually have those attributes as well. You can see our Imperials are finished, and these Imperials also have 4 fertility on this hive. So we've got our princess and 4 drones, and on this side it's only got 2. Now I'm not as worried about that for the Imperials right now, because really the only thing I need the extra drones for is just to crush up for the liquid DNA. Now, I do want to get these bees more towards the get them a little bit longer lifespan and get them faster. So I'm still looking to improve their traits a little bit, but I don't want to risk them turning into anything but Imperial, so I'm not crossbreeding them or anything like that right now. So let's see, these all, and also one other note for my environment here, the biome that I'm in is normal temperature and high humidity, damp humidity. So I have to make sure that the bees are either have a humidity of damp or have normal +1. You can see it says normal /+1. That will make sure that it can tolerate the damp humidity. And I've done a couple of bees where I forgot to check that and ended up basically creating bees that I can't use in this area. Now what I want to make sure of is I want to try and get bees that we can improve our fertility on. And the way I keep these sorted right now is I just put the bees one under each other when I'm matching them up, and then I can just move those into the apiaries. So you're slow. What I want is fast bees. But I guess that's going to be the best pairing I can get. There we go, and they will breed together. I've got a set of proven frames in each of these to make sure that my royal jelly and comb production stays high. And you can see that these Imperial bees will occasionally give you regeneration, which is really cool. Let's check on this bee, see how we're doing here. Looks like he's still waiting. It's used one charge on him so far, so he's hopefully has that on the inactive traits. Let's see, what else can we look at here? I'm not sure if there's anything else specifically here. I did move the apiaries around. This is kind of a temporary solution until I get the bees under more production. I still need to get some industrious bees so that I can make pollen and start making parts to build elevaries, which will they have a lot of different features, including the ability to change the temperature in the alivary so that I can actually run some of the other bees in this area. Now, there are certain bees that do require specific biomes in order to breed them or do anything with them, and we are currently in a Green Hills biome, so we will have to find some other spots around the area to set up bees for certain things. So that'll also be on the to-do list. And you can also see this indexer. I've got a pretty good supply of bees going here. I need to get all of the bees run through the analyzer here before long as well. What I will probably do is set up a some sort of a piping system from like a one of the apiarist chest as a starting point. So you just drop the bees into the apiarist chest and they'll get pulled through the analyzer into the indexer, and I'll probably put the indexer somewhere close here. I may also move all of these project tables to this far wall so that they're a little bit more out of the way. Okay, let's do one more check on this bee and see if he's ready. He's not. So I'm going to take a quick break and we'll be back with you as soon as this bee is ready. See you in a moment. Okay, and we are back. Okay, and we are back. We have our noble drone that we had in the inoculator is now 4 drone fertile, so he should be good to go. I also picked up the soul frames out of my canvas bag, and we're going to use those after a quick nap here to make it daytime. We're going to use those to both shorten the life of the bee and improve the chances of mutation when we put these bees in here. Take these extra combs out and put the soul frames in. So we're going to take the ancient princess and the noble drone, and we'll let them breed and see what we get here. So right now it's showing as an ancient diligent worker, and it has an elongated life, so it's probably going to take a little while for it to actually do its thing and then create more bees and die off. So we can, we'll take a quick, whoa, that was weird. We'll take a quick look at this bee right now. You can see fertility is 4, so that's all pretty nice in there. So 21 generations this bee's been in captivity. There's what this bee produces right now, and all of the various mutations that it has. Let's go ahead and stick our bee back in, let it do its thing, and once this bee finishes up, I will be back to show you guys what we've got. And hopefully we will be lucky and enough to either at least get a bunch of ancient drones, or maybe possibly even get lucky enough to get a primeval drone or princess. The drones are actually now preferred to the princesses, since we can collect the serum off the drones and we don't want to waste princesses. So hopefully we will get lucky and get what we want. And I will be back with you as soon as this bee finishes doing its thing. Okay, our ancient princess finished its work, or our ancient queen rather, and gave us a primeval princess, 3 ancient drones, and a diligent drone. So that's a very nice setup of drones. Let's just take them and stick them through our handheld analyzer real quick. Got a primeval noble hybrid. It didn't pick up the 4 fertility, so we'll have to push her back through the inoculator again. But this ancient did get the 4 fertility. Oops, gotta go through there. This ancient did not get the 4 fertility, but that's okay. We'll actually set him over here. Let's see, anything else we want? No. We'll set him over here as one of the first ones we try for using the isolator on. Let's check this one. This one does have the good fertility. That's nice. And let's also look at our diligent. So the diligent also has the 4 fertility, which is great. So hopefully we can get lucky and isolate the ancient gene off of this drone. So if we can do that, then we don't have to worry about touching any of the other drones, and the world is a better place because of it. So we stick our bee up here, and you can see it started to do things already. The drone bees will last, sometimes they'll only last 1 round through, sometimes they'll last 3 or 4. It's a random chance of losing the bee every cycle in the isolator. So there's noble species. We don't need that. We already have a noble species here. Now the nice thing is you can take these serum vials and you stick them in a furnace, and it will burn all of the DNA out of it. Slowest productivity. We have a slowest. We have a slower, but now we have a slowest. So we don't really need anything in between on the productivity or lifespan or anything like that. We already have one of those. So far we are not getting well, we got one good thing, but we're not getting what we really want, which is the ancient gene. That's the one that will let us make more bees that match. There's another slowest productivity. at least our bee is being lucky and hanging around. So we've also already got a diligent, so we don't need to worry about that one. Now with the primeval, the next thing we need to breed it with is a modest. And I think I have a modest drone, but I'm not sure. I'm going to have to go look for those. Another maximum fertility. Let's go ahead and run these through. So we don't need those. A flowers pollination, we have one of those. Our drone is doing well at staying around, at least. I think this flowers pollination will let you change what the bee considers to be a flower. So if you have, like I've got some bees that like mushrooms for some reason. Well, partially because they have swamp type bees in their breeding history. And another flowers pollination. So we did not get what we needed out of those, or out of that bee. I do have the shortest. I want to put this up here just so I don't accidentally do something wrong with it. You can see I've got a couple of temperature and humidity vials and a bunch of breeds. And I've also got a serum to turn the fertility down again if we need to, which would probably be the case for bees that are in production making one item. We don't need to have as many drones coming off of them. It's just more drones that you have to deal with. So let's see. We want ancient. Which one of these was better? I think both of these were about the same. That one's elongated life. That one's a better one to keep. So let's try sending this bee through the isolator and see if we get ancient. So this is, especially once we get the power upgraded, this is how I plan on doing most of the bee breeding, is basically breed the bees, try to get a couple of drones of the type that I want. And I think I already have one of those. Yep. So we don't need that. And that burned up that bee. I think I want to keep this ancient to breed. Oh. Because I think if I breed this ancient with the... Well, I guess here's the little bit of a quandary here, because if I get another ancient princess, then breeding it with the ancient drone might help to purify the breed. So I think I'm going to go ahead and keep that one ancient, and I'll have to step back one level to get the bees that I want. Take a look in this particular chest and see if I have any modest. I don't think they're in here. Let's grab the serum vials and stick them back in the isolator. And we'll go back over to the indexer and see if we have modest. I might have to go on a hunt and find some. I think I've got one or two. I don't remember what color they are, though. There's tropical. These are all valiant. Cultivateds. You see, this cultivated queen has humidity tolerance of normal, and that means I can't actually use that bee in this area, which is a little bit annoying, but that's how it works. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go hunt down a modest bee or two, and I believe those are hive bees in the desert, so I might be out for a bit of a trek. So anyway, I hope this guy helps you guys out in learning how to work with the bees a little bit more. And I'm going to go do some hunting for some more bees. With that, I leave you for tonight. Have a great evening, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.